Okay, hi, my name is Brittany, and I'll be doing the neuro video checklist. So, initially, we're going to assess his mental status, and I can do that through a series of different questions. And so, we'll just answer these questions to the best of your ability. Can you tell me your first and last name?
Randall Lucky,
What day it is?
Sunday,
What's your birthday?
28,
Can you tell me your telephone number?
575-915-2215.
Where are you at right now?
Town,
What did you eat for lunch?
burrito,
Can you spell the word world?
WORID,
And can you spell it backwards?
DLROW.
Can you explain to me the saying, don't count your chickens before they hatch?
Assume you have something before you have it.
Okay, can you tell me how an apple and an orange are alike?
True.
How is a mouse and a cat alike?
Animals,
And then can you tell me what 12 times 10 is?
120,
And what is 15 plus 12?
7.
Okay, so through that quick little few questions, I can say that I know that he is alert, he's cooperative, he's able to focus, his thought processes are coherent. He is oriented to person, place, and time and situation. His speech is fluent. He follows commands. His remote and recent memory is intact. Calculations are intact. Abstract thinking is intact. And visuospatial processing is intact. And then we're going to go through and we're going to assess his motor system. So initially, I'm going to be looking at him. I'm going to be looking for any sort of bulk of muscles or any atrophy of those muscles. I would be looking specifically in his hands, his arms, his shoulders, his thighs, and his calves. And so a lot of that is easy to see just by what he's wearing. And then we're going to assess his muscle tone. So I would ask him to relax. You relax your arms. And then I will be examining his hands, his wrists, his arms, moving it around, range of motion, your shoulders, and then the same thing, you do it with both. And then the same thing with his leg. That would be moving his leg through different range of motions as well as his ankle. Okay. And then we're going to test pronator drift. And so I'm going to have you hold your arms out straight, the palms up. And then I'm going to have you keep them up. I'm going to have you close your eyes and then try to keep your arms in that position, okay? Okay, and so pronator drift, there was none. It was normal. And so during that, I could say that there were no involuntary movement, such as tremors, no signs of muscle atrophy or bulk, no signs of resistance during the passive manipulation, muscle tones within normal limits, no pronator drift was noted. He was noted to have appropriate muscle strength, coordination, and good position sense. And then we're going to test some muscle strength. So we're going to test shoulder abduction. I'm going to have you raise your arm from shoulder level, and then I'm going to be pushing and you're going to resist, okay? And then the same on the other side. Okay, and then we're going to test elbow flexion. So I'm going to have you elbow flexion and extension. So now you're going to push against me, and then the same, push against me. We'll do it on the other side. Perfect. And then we're going to test wrist flexion and extension. So I'm going to have you make a fist, and then you're going to resist with pushing, and then the same with the other way. Okay, everything. Okay. And then we're going to test finger extension. So I'm going to have you put your arms like this, and then I'm going to push against you, push up, and then push up. Perfect. And then we're going to test finger abduction. So I'm going to have you spread your fingers, and you're going to resist me pulling them together. Perfect. Perfect. Then we're going to test thumb abduction. And so I'm going to have you put your hand out, point your thumb toward the ceiling, and I'm going to try to push your finger into your palm. Okay, other hand. Try to keep me from pushing. Perfect. And then we're going to test hip flexion. So With you sitting, I'm gonna have you dingle your legs and I'm gonna have you lift your leg up and I'm gonna be pushing resistance. Okay, and then with the other. Okay, perfect. And then now we're going to move to hip extension. So I'll go ahead and have you lay on your stomach. Let me adjust this a little bit. Okay, so with hip extension, I am going to go ahead and push down on your posterior thigh and I'm going to have you raise it against my resistance. Go ahead. Okay, perfect. Other side. Perfect. And then we're going to do knee flexions. Go ahead and roll back over. I'm going to go ahead and have you bend your knee so that your knee is flexed and your foot is resting on the edge of the bed, okay? And then you're going to push up against my resistance. Okay, keep your knees straight. Try that again. Okay, other way. Okay. And then I'm going to be pulling and I want you to not let me, okay? Perfect. Perfect. And then we're going to test ankle dorsiflexion. So I'm going to go ahead and have you straighten your legs out. And then I'm going to have you, I'm going to be pushing and you're going to resist me. Perfect. And then I'm going to have you push against my hand. And same thing over here. And push against my hand. Perfect. And then we're going to assess coordination. So you can come back over to me. Okay, so for coordination, we're going to do rapid arm movement. So I'm going to have you put your hands on your palm, your lap. You're going to strike your lap, lift them up, rotate them over, rotate, and you're going to do that as quickly as you can. And then while he's doing that, I'm going to be observing his speed, the rhythm, whether the movements are smooth, whether they're choppy. And you can do one foot versus the other. The same thing with his foot. I could have him kind of do quick feet, tapping his feet, the balls of his feet on the floor. You can go ahead and do that. Okay. Sorry, I don't know why you can't see him. Okay. And then we're going to do the rapid finger tapping. So you're going to tap the distal joint of your thumb with the finger of your index finger. So you're going to just tap here as quickly as you can. Perfect. And you're going to do it with the other hand. Okay, and then we're going to do the finger to nose test. Gosh, sorry. Okay, finger to nose test. So you're going to extend your hand, touch your nose, extend your hand, touch your nose. Keep doing that. Okay, and then now I want you to touch my finger and then your nose. Finger and your nose. I'm going to close your eyes and you keep doing that. Perfect. And then we're going to do the heel to shin test. So you can extend your leg and then with the heel, you're going to run it down the length of your shin and then the other leg as well. All right. And then the same thing with all that. You're looking at the smooth list. You're looking at his ability to perform the task themselves and any pain, discomfort, or anything like that, uncoordination, stuff like that. And then we'll test his gait. So a lot of this happens when you're walking into the room, but I can have him go ahead and get up. I'm going to have him walk across the room, down the hall, and then he would come back. And while he's doing that, I'm observing his posture, his stance, the balance, the swing of his arms, the movement of his legs. His balance should be intact. His arms are swinging symmetrically at his sides, and his turns are smooth. And then I'm going to have him come back. And then we're going to do I'm going to have you walk on your heels and then also walk on the tips of your toes. You can come back. Here's down here. Okay, so you're going to walk on your heels. Okay, and then walk on the tips of your toes. Okay, and then I'm going to have you do heel to toe and walk in a straight line. Both of these are going to be testing coordination. It's going to be testing his balance. Some of these tests would uncover some balance issues that weren't as easily recognizable just walking. And then I'm going to assess his position sense, which would be the Romberg test. Okay, so I'm gonna have you stand. I'm gonna have you put your feet together. I'm gonna have you stare at a point across the wall. Okay, and then I'm gonna have you go ahead and close your eyes. We're gonna have you close your eyes for 30 seconds, and not supporting him. So during this, he may sway a little bit. A little swaying is absolutely normal. But if he is unable to maintain an upright posture, or he has to spread his legs in order to catch himself, then we know that would indicate some sort of balance issue, some sort of position sense issue. So you can be done. And then I'm gonna have you sit back down or wherever. And then I'm gonna go ahead and test and I'm gonna go ahead and test his sensory system, his ability to recognize light and pain. So right now I'm gonna have you close your eyes, and then I've got something that's sharp that would be considered light, and then something that is sharp. And so as I touch you, I want you to tell me if you're feeling something light or if you're feeling something sharp, okay?
Light.
Oops, sorry.
Sharp. 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 Light. Sharp.
Okay. He was able to recognize all those accurately. Um, if there was concerns about his ability to recognize those, you could test for temperature. I don't have a tuning fork or anything like that that I could have him recognize if something's cold versus hot, but you could do that in the same way. And then we're going to test proprioception. So I'm going to have you, can you rest your legs on my, okay? I'm going to take your sock off. Okay, so I'm going to have you relax, close your eyes. I'm going to move your toe away from your rest of your toes. Then I'm going to have you tell me if your toe is pointed up or down. Okay, let's see your other foot. Okay, and that's going to be the same thing. Can you tell me if it's pointed up or down? Okay. So he's got adequate proprioception. And then for vibration, I do not have a tuning fork, but for vibration, I would use a tuning fork, tap the prongs on the heel of my hand. I would place the base of it firmly over the joint of the patient's finger. And then you could push it over the joint of the big toe. And then I would ask them to describe what they feel. Ask them if they're feeling vibration or if they're just feeling pressure. And then you can ask them to let you know when that vibration does stop. And you would know whether that's accurate or not. And then we're going to test discriminative sensation or stereogenesis. So right now I'm going to have you close your eyes. I'm going to be placing an object in your hand. You can close your hand around it in order to identify it, but with your eyes closed, I'm going to tell me what you're feeling.
Key.
Okay.
Cotton.
Okay.
Filter.
Mm-hmm. Let's see if we can bite you. Okay, last one.
Coin.
Perfect. So he's able to identify all of those. Okay, and now we're going to elicit different muscle reflexes. So first we're going to elicit the biceps reflex. And so I'm going to have you bend your arm. You're going to turn your palm a little bit inward. There we go. And I'm going to have you relax your arm back. Just relax your arm into mine. Okay. And you would do it on the other side. Okay. Okay. And with the biceps. Okay. And then we're going to do the brachioradialis reflex. So you're just going to relax your arm. Okay. Okay. And then we will do the patellar reflex. I'm going to have you relax your legs. Okay. Okay. And then we're going to test the Achilles reflex. So just relax your foot. Relax your foot. Very good. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and test the abdominal reflex. Go ahead and lay on your stomach, Reynold.
Lay on my stomach.
Lay on your back, sorry. I'm gonna put your shirt up a little bit. Okay, so stroking the sides of his abdomen, I'm gonna note the contraction of his abdominal muscles, the movement of the umbilicus toward the stimulus. Okay. And then we're gonna test the plantar response as well. Okay, so the bottom of your foot. Okay. And so you see his toes turn curved toward the response. But that is all as far as neuro assessment goes.